The lion, the lamb, and the wolf. A terrible parable. By me, King James. So a lion came to rest in a field after a long day of listening to the pride bickering about who had made the best kill and who deserved the best piece of meat, when all that the lion cared about was that his belly was full and he was satisfied. So covered in blood and no longer hungry, he came to rest in a field as the sun was setting, and the sun turned the grass that surrounded him gold as the wind blew through it, and the lion pondered his existence. So, as the lion was just sitting there, staring out at the sunset, along came a lamb. The lamb, upon seeing the lion, showed no fear or reservation. Rather, it showed intrigue and disgust. It approached the lion immediately. And the lamb told the lion, "Look at yourself. You're pathetic, covered in blood and reeking of death. You stink and you're filthy and you should clean yourself up. Haven't you heard about the emperor's cough?" The lion sat unmoved, staring through the lamb as if it didn't exist. The lion said to the lamb, "I haven't heard of the emperor's cough. Have you seen it?" And the lamb just gave the lion a confused look and said, "You don't see a cough. You only hear of it." The lion rolled its eyes, continued to gaze at the sunset. The lamb began to tell the tale of the emperor's new cough. It said, "The emperor has a cough, and it is terrible. Everyone who's heard of the cough has died. The emperor's physicians have recommended that anyone who coughs or is unclean be put to death, for they all make the emperor's cough get worse. And all who actually heard the emperor's cough died immediately. This is what the emperor's physicians said." The lion was puzzled. He asked the lamb, "Well, if everyone who's heard of the emperor's cough has died, then why have you told me?" The lamb couldn't believe what he was hearing. He said, "You're not taking me seriously. Don't you understand how bad this is? Everyone who's heard of it gets ill, and they have to be put to death, and they put their animals to death, for their animals are getting sick too." Off in the distance, a lone wolf, injured, probably never to rejoin his pack, watched. And he was an opportunist who was hungry. He watched as the lion just sat there and the lion seemed annoyed. And the wolf wasn't sure if the lion was staring past the lamb at him. But being the opportunist that he was, he patiently watched. And once he saw the opportunity to exploit the situation, he made his move. For you see, the lion was growing impatient. The lion thought back on his long history, for the lion was old, and he had seen the emperor several times. At times, as he was laying with the pride, he saw the emperor watching from the distance, too afraid to approach. Other times, the lion watched the emperor walk among his subjects, and he thought it so silly that the subjects feared this man, this king among men, for every step he took, it seemed that he was walking with his heart in his feet. For with every step he took, it seemed that he was afraid he was going to lose his balance, or lose his power, or have someone stab him in the back. And the lion couldn't understand why anyone would fear a man that seemed to walk with his heart in his feet. It was ridiculous. So, after the lamb kept going on about how the lion must clean itself up, and that he was just trying to help the lion finally asked the lamb, "Lamb, do you think the emperor wears getas made of glass?" The lamb was confused. It didn't know what to think of this question. It just thought that the lion was making fun of it. And the lion unfocused his gaze from the lamb, as he saw that the lamb had no answer for his question, and only more questions. The lamb realized that the lion had actually met with the emperor, and this was a fact that the lamb couldn't deal with. And off in the distance, when the wolf saw that the lion had shifted its gaze away from the lamb, still trying to look at the sunset, being avoidant, the wolf saw that the lion, for the moment, probably wasn't going to do anything, because the lion seemed to be resting. So the wolf struck, and he called from the distance, "Say, lamb, I have heard of the emperor's new calf, and I would love to talk with you about it." The lamb, intrigued, turned away from the lion and said, "You're a fool. You're going to die now because you're filthy, and everyone who's filthy is put to death, because they make the emperor's cough get worse." So the lamb ran off to the lame wolf, and the lion watched. And the lion didn't care what was going to happen to this foolish lamb, for at the moment, the lion wasn't hungry. And that's all that really matters.